Yo, what up, guys? It is Kyle Beast here. I'm going to give you my Week 3 predictions and favorite matchups for this week. Kind of just give you a deep dive breakdown on all of them. FYI, Cowboys fans, I did just want to let you guys know I will not be covering the game this week because you're playing the Cardinals. I feel like I've been very clear on how I feel about both teams. I feel like the Cowboys are the best team in football right now, and the Cardinals are absolutely the worst. Just side note, Trayvon Diggs did just tear his ACL at practice today. This is a huge blow for the Cowboys. He was playing incredible football. If this is the first you're hearing about that, I am really sorry. Don't want to get too into it, though. Definitely don't think that's going to change the aspect of the game. I think you guys will beat the Cardinals pretty soundly. Thursday night football, Giants at 49ers. Let's get into it. Giants injuries, Saquon Barkley, Andrew Thomas, the tackle, Azeez Ojulari. Their pass rusher, they're all out. 49ers injuries, Brandon Ayuk is questionable, and I don't think he's going to play. Giants, this team and this defense has been absolutely abysmal. The rush defense has been horrific. They are averaging 136.5 rushing yards against them a game. Now they're playing a very good Niners rushing attack who's averaging 173.5 rushing yards a game on the ground. I definitely don't expect this to go well for you guys, Giants. They did just have a great comeback win last week against the Cardinals, but yes, it was the NFL's worst team in the league, the Cardinals. The Giants were down 21-0 in the first half. I just wanted to make that clear. 21-0 in the first half. They're playing horrible football. Niners, again, not really a whole lot to say about this team, other than they've been playing at a ridiculously high level. I don't think Brandon Ayuk is going to kill them in this game, or missing him is going to kill them. Kyle Shanahan's not going to pass the ball if he doesn't need to, and he shouldn't need to in this game. Prediction for this one, I know the 49ers are on upset alert, and the NFL's a strange lady, but this game is going to be all 49ers. 90% of bets are on the Giants to cover 10.5 points, and 90% of people just lost their money. I honestly think Sam Darnold could come into this game and cover the 10.5 points by himself. Got the Niners going 30-17. 17, I'm just trying to honestly be nice. I don't think this Giants offense can put up 17 points on the Niners defense, but we'll see. All right, getting into the Falcons at Lions game. Falcons injuries. Troy Anderson is questionable. He was in concussion protocol last week. I do expect him to play. I think he'll be all right. Super exciting news for Falcons fans. Jeff Okudah is playing. Let's go. I think everyone's so happy to see him. And we get him against his old team, which is awesome. Injuries for the Lions. Man, they are beat up. Holy moly. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, CGJ, and James Houston. They're both on IR. James Houston's he's a good pass rusher for them. He's played really well this year. David Montgomery is questionable. He's probably out. He said himself his injury's probably going to take a couple weeks. Amon-Ra St. Brown is questionable with a toe. I assume he's probably going to play in this one. And then Emmanuel Mosley, Josh Reynolds, Kirby Joseph, Taylor Decker, and Halapuli Vaitai, all questionable. Those are all starters and good players for the Lions. So definitely a big deal, I think. Falcons, I really don't like our matchup in this game with our run defense and pass rush being so weak. I really like our secondary with Okudah making his debut, but our run defense still needs to step up and help them out. Our offense does a great job winning the possession battle, and this isn't an elite defense in Detroit, especially with CGJ out. However, they do have a really good pass rush, and I said it in week 1 after watching that Lions-Chiefs game. We're going to have a very hard time stopping this Lions pass rush when we need to move the ball downfield, like we've had problems all year. But this pass rush is probably going to be the best pass rush we've played. Maybe not with Justin Houston being out. Lions, I love this run game, and their offensive line is really good. I definitely think they're going to try and exploit that weakness of ours as Falcons. Get ready to see Jared Goff look really good with the play-action game being wide open. CGJ being out makes me really dislike this defense. I mean, you could really see it opening night. He made them as a team just look so much better. Still, their pass rush is really solid. If I had to bet on this game, I would bet on the Lions to cover their 3-point favorite, especially with it being in Detroit. But this Lions team is really banged up, and I'm never going to bet against Atlanta. Both teams are going to have plenty of opportunities to win this game. It's really hard to make out a score, obviously somewhere in the 20s, but not one I want to bet on for sure. Let's get into the Saints at Packers. Saints injuries: Jamal Williams and Foster Moreau are questionable and both probably out. By the way, Marcus May, their safety, just got suspended for 3 games. It's a substance abuse policy. Had to do something about his DUI a year ago. The NFL suspends players for 3 games without pay for their first offense at this, and that's what he's going through right now. It does start this week. Packers injuries: Christian Watson, Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, Aaron Jones, David Bakhtiari. They're all questionable. It's hard to say whether they're going to play or not. I honestly have no idea. Elton Jenkins sprained his MCL. I'm going to say he doesn't play. They just play it safe with him. Saints, this offense has weapons. I mean, obviously, Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Rashid Shaheed, but they've been really disappointing this season, mostly attributed to the offensive line and Derek Carr. They're really missing Alvin Kamara and are probably super psyched to get him back next week. Defense has been really good and is really talented. I'm super excited to see what the Saints do in the secondary just to slow down the Packers wide receivers. What are they going to do? Are they just going to throw Lattimore on, Christian Watson, or are they just going to play straight up the entire time and maybe double team Christian Watson? I'm not sure. We'll see. Packers, this is a really tough matchup for the Packers offense and the biggest test they've had so far in the season. Shout out to my friend who's a Packers fan. He let me know. He said this is going to be really good test for the Packers this year, and I'm super excited to watch it. This is a very good offense, but they're playing against a very good and very experienced defense. I'm going to say the veteran defense wins this matchup. Packers defense is really solid and has the pieces to frustrate Derek Carr. Jair Alexander kind of got worked by Drake London last week. Shout out to Falcons fans. So I'm really excited to watch this Olave versus Alexander matchup this week. Packers team, really good, but I just don't think they're quite ready for this super experienced defense, especially if David Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins don't play. I got to go with the Saints win here, 17-14. That being said, let's hop into that Chargers at Vikings game, the battle for 1 and 2. Huge week for both of these teams. Chargers injuries: Austin Eckler, Joey Bosa, Eric Kendricks, all questionable. Those are 3 starters. Joey Bosa is obviously the incredible pass rusher. Eric Kendricks is their starting linebacker. Vikings injuries: Garrett Bradbury, Jordan Hooks, Marcus Davenport, the pass rusher, Jordan Hicks, the linebacker, and Josh Metellus, the safety. They're all questionable. Garrett Bradbury is their center, by the way. That's 5 starters. I don't know what's going on in them, but at the end of the day, that's 5 starters that are struggling through injuries. Chargers, I was super high on this team to start the year. Even having them take the division. I had them stealing the division from the Chiefs. I mean, they still could. I thought Herbert and this team would take the next step, but they've been the same old Chargers, finding ways to lose games. Old adage in the NFL, bad teams find ways to lose games. I certainly don't think this is a bad team, but definitely not what I expected to see. The defense has been extremely disappointing. If Austin Eckler isn't playing this game, Chargers are in big trouble. He didn't play last week. I didn't get a chance to watch that game, but they did lose to the Tannehill Titans, and I would have to assume that Austin Eckler being out did play a big role in that game. Vikings, this team should be 2-0 right now, but they're super undisciplined offense who doesn't take care of the ball. The defense has played much better than anyone has expected them to. This defense just doesn't have a lot of talent, but they've played really good as a whole, and the offense has just let them down with careless, stupid turnovers. This is a pick'em game, with the line being a 1-point favorite for the Vikings. This game is crucial for both teams. I think it's safe to say the loser of this game ends up not making the playoffs. Going down 0-3 is a killer to any season. Winning games in the NFL isn't easy. I'm going to say the Chargers disappoint again and fall to the Vikings, 31-27. I think the Vikings will clean up their turnovers this week, and they've been playing better football than the Chargers have. Sunday Night Football, we got a fun matchup. I don't know if it's going to be fun. We'll see. It might be a pretty bad matchup. Steelers at Raiders might not be the best way to spend your Sunday night. It's going to be the best way to spend my Sunday night, but I don't know about yours. Steelers injuries, got Cam Hayward, Deontay Johnson, both on IR, obviously. Minka Fitzpatrick is questionable in this game. Raiders injuries, Chandler Jones is out for personal reasons. I don't think anyone has a timetable on him. Jacoby Myers and Tyree Wilson are both questionable. I think they'll both play. Jacoby Myers suffered that really bad head injury a couple weeks ago. It's 2 weeks out. He's going through concussion protocol. We'll see if it was really bad. Maybe he doesn't play in this game, but I do think Tyree Wilson will play. Um, Steelers, this offense has been awful, and Kenny Pickett has been hard to watch. Keep in mind, they've played two elite defenses, so I mean, it could get better, but the defense has certainly been the bright spot for this team, and they find themselves playing another struggling offense in the Raiders this week. The numbers for Najee Harris don't look bad, but I think whenever you watch this team, you see how much of a difference Jaylen Warren makes. I think all of Steelers Nation would like to see a little more Jaylen Warren. I know I certainly want to. I really want to see their offense just let him get going. Raiders, I haven't gotten a chance to sit down and watch a full game of theirs yet, so I'm really excited to be able to do that this week. This team has been really disappointing so far. I don't think anyone expected the offense to look this bad, especially the run game. They're having a really hard time getting Josh Jacobs going. As a result, they're having to put games into Jimmy G's hands, which certainly isn't a good thing. Defense is pretty hard to judge right now, but they seem to be average at best. I'm super excited to watch Max Crosby and Tyree Wilson play, though, because I haven't gotten to the season yet. Raiders, they're a 2.5-point favorite in this game. I'm going to say the Steelers' defense steals the show again for back-to-back weeks, and the Steelers' offense doesn't look quite as bad without having to play an elite defense. So I'm going to go Steelers 2010. Get into our Monday Night Football games. Again, we have two Monday Night Football games. I really don't like it when they do this. It's easy for me. I can put on both games, but it's just I don't get to focus on one at a time. But it is what it is, and it'll be a fun night. Eagles at Bucks. Eagles injuries. Avonte Maddox and Nakobe Dean are both on IR. Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott, Quez Watkins, Reed Blankenship, and James Bradbury are all questionable. That's pretty big for them. Bucks injuries. They didn't have too many. Kalijah Cansey, their first-round pick, he's an interior defensive lineman, and Carlton Davis, one of their corners, are questionable. It's two starters, two great players. This Eagles team has struggled moving the ball down the field, especially Jalen Hurts when trying to dissect defenses. He struggled a lot moving the ball downfield. Run game has been incredible. Their offensive line is ridiculous, but a much harder matchup this week than last week. The Bucks front seven is really solid. I'm really excited to see how it goes. The Eagles front seven has obviously been incredible this year. I still can't believe the Bears let them steal Jalen Carter in the draft. He's been really good these first 2 weeks. Secondary is really suspect, though, and they lack so much depth. And with injuries piling up, it has been really bad. Kirk Cousins just threw for 4 touchdowns and 350 yards against them. Bucks, Baker Mayfield has been really impressive so far in these first 2 games. They have the matchup against the Eagles secondary, with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and their weapons. But will Baker be able to exploit it with having to deal with this superb Eagles front seven? I really don't think so. I think he's going to struggle. Defensively, I like their matchup as well with a really talented front seven against a pretty good secondary. Excuse me. So I do like the Bucks matchup in this game, but we'll see how it goes. The rust on the Eagles could very well fall off this week, and they could just ruin this Bucks team. They certainly have the talent to do so, but I think this is going to be a pretty competitive game, and I like the Bucks matchup in this one. But I simply do not have the balls to take the Bucks in this game. No chance. I think the Eagles are too good. I think their talent is ultimately going to be too much for this Bucks team. And I have the Eagles giving the first loss to the Bucks this year, going 30-24, covering that 5-point spread. For the second Monday Night Football game, we got Rams at Bengals. I did want to apologize for my last video. I had the Bengals. For whatever reason, I had it mixed up. I thought they were going to play the Vikings this week. No, it's Rams at Bengals Monday night. Rams injuries, they didn't have any, other than obviously Cooper Kupp is still out. They're a pretty healthy team. Bengals injuries, they're pretty healthy too, but Joe Burrow, their most important player, is questionable, dealing with a calf injury. Rams, they're certainly not the most talented team, but they're playing great football. Sean McVay has got these boys going. I love their matchup on offense this week. The Bengals D has been average at best. And if Stafford doesn't turn the ball over, he's going to be able to carve this defense up. The Bengals offense has been so inconsistent, it's really hard to judge the Rams defense for this game. But the Rams defense has been playing good football, and the Bengals offense has been playing bad football. So I'll take my chances on the Rams. Bengals, I think it's safe to say this has been one of the most disappointing teams in football this year on both sides of the ball, especially on the offensive side of the ball. The offense looked way better last week than the week before, so that's good. But the run game's been average, pass rush hasn't been very strong, and losing both of their safeties in the free agency has definitely shown. If I was a Bengals fan, I would be really concerned about this team, especially with Joe Burrow's calf injury. Bengals are a 3-point favorite to win this one. And I didn't have the balls to take the Bucs in the last game, but I do have the balls to take the Rams in this one. I'm going to say Bengals lose this one. I'm taking the Rams simply just because they've been playing good football, and the Bengals have been playing bad and inconsistent football. I'm going Rams 30-23. That's all I got for you guys this week. Here's a quick summary on it. Thursday Night Football, Giants at Niners. I'm going Niners 30-17. Falcons at Lions, I have no idea. I'm not betting against Atlanta, no chance. Saints at Packers. I got the Saints taking that one 17-14. Chargers at Vikings, got the Vikings going 31-27. Sunday Night Football, Steelers at Raiders. I got the Steelers with this one 20-10. Monday Night Football, Eagles at Bucks. I'm going Eagles 30-24. Monday Night Football, Rams at Bengals. I got the Rams going 30-23. Yeah, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Please let me know in the comments below if you think I'm going to be wrong, or if you liked what I had to say or disliked what I had to say. But anyway, we will see you guys next time.